On February 6, 2013, 21-year-old Elisa Lam arrived at Los Angeles to spend 2 weeks sightseeing around the city. This was an exciting trip for Elisa. She had been saving up for this adventure for a long time and was very much looking forward to seeing the sights, but most of all, she was excited to visit her favorite band, the XX, in concert. Over the course of the next few days, Elisa made her way down the California coast, stopping at Santa Barbara, Ventura, Malibu, and Venice Beach. She documented her adventures with photos posted on Facebook, Instagram, and her personal blog. She wrote about surfing, hiking, food, fashion, boys, and music, and through it all, her posts were upbeat, optimistic, and positive. But by February 25th, the tone of her writing began to shift. She wasn't posting as regularly or as cheerfully as before, and there was a darkness creeping into her words. On the morning of the 26th, she sent her last message to her brother, writing, "Something weird is happening. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of scary." That same day, she checked into Cecil Hotel, a historic landmark located in downtown LA. The hotel had a rich history, having opened its doors in 1927. It used to be a high-end luxury establishment known as the Biltmore Hotel. But over the years, it fell into disrepair, becoming less of a place for celebrities and more of a flophouse for those on hard times. Nevertheless, it still attracted a wide variety of guests, both transient and permanent. Elisa's room was located on the 14th floor, directly above the infamous Room 141, where the serial killer Richard Ramirez had stayed when he was on the run. According to reports, the room was filthy. One reviewer said there was garbage everywhere. Another said the shower was moldy and disgusting, and yet another said the walls were covered with what appeared to be bloodstains. When Elisa complained about the state of her room, the front desk clerk shrugged and told her to just ignore it. It was just part of the experience at Cecil. The following day, February 27th, Elisa was captured on surveillance camera entering the elevator alone around 1:40 p.m. In the footage, she appears to be happy and in good spirits. But strange things begin to happen. The elevator begins moving downward, but then it stops between floors. The doors open and close again, and then they start moving upwards. But something is wrong with Elisa. She appears confused and scared. She makes several erratic movements, including pressing the buttons on the control panel, reaching out to touch the mirror, and sticking her tongue out as if tasting the air. At one point, she seems to look directly into the camera. Then she presses the emergency button, opens the door, and crawls out onto the roof of the elevator. She closes the door behind her and continues to make strange faces and gestures. When the elevator reaches the 14th floor, Elisa steps out and walks down the hallway toward her room. Now, there is no record of her ever leaving that room again. According to the police report, at 8:16 p.m., someone was seen entering her room. Investigators believe it was Elisa's boyfriend, but he denied being there that night. He told them he hadn't seen her since February. Elisa's family became worried after not hearing from her for several days. They tried calling her phone, but it went straight to voicemail. Finally, on March 3rd, her brother called the police to report her missing. He said her behavior had been off in the weeks leading up to the trip, but she had been seeing a therapist and seemed to be improving. He also mentioned that she suffered from bipolar disorder and sometimes exhibited bizarre behavior. The police reviewed the security footage from the hotel and showed the elevator video to the family. They were shocked to see their daughter acting that way. The family contacted everyone they knew Elisa had met during her trip, but nobody had seen her. So the search continued. As the days passed, the media picked up on the story. They released the elevator footage to news outlets, who quickly posted it on their websites. Within hours, the video went viral, racking up millions of views and sparking thousands of comments and conspiracy theories. Some thought the video showed evidence of a drug overdose. Others believed she was under the influence of a date rape drug. Some claimed she was suffering from a mental breakdown. Some even accused the hotel staff of foul play. After all, why would they let a clearly troubled young woman stay there alone? At first, the police weren't sure what to make of the video. They admitted it was weird and disturbing, but stressed that none of the activity captured on camera appeared to be criminal. They were hoping Elisa would turn up safe and sound, but the longer she was missing, the less hopeful they became. By mid-March, the search had turned into a full-scale investigation. Detectives revisited every location where Elisa had been staying, combed through hours of surveillance footage, and interviewed hundreds of people. But they came up empty-handed. There were no signs of foul play, no witnesses, and no body. The case went cold. Meanwhile, the online chatter about the video continued. A lot of it was speculation and hearsay, but some of it was real helpful. After investigators put out an appeal to the public, several people came forward, claiming to have seen Elisa after she disappeared. According to these witnesses, she was disoriented and confused, wearing the same clothes as in the elevator video. One person even claimed to have spoken with her and said she had no idea where she was or how she got there. They said she looked scared and wanted help. Unfortunately, none of these sightings led to a resolution. Elisa was never found, and her case eventually faded from the headlines. But the legacy of the elevator video lived on. In the years since it was released, it has become one of the most famous pieces of unsolved mystery content on the internet. There are countless videos and podcasts devoted to the case, all trying to solve the puzzle of what happened to Elisa Lam. And now, a decade later, we're going to try our hand at it. We've gone through everything that's been written and uploaded about the case, and we've collected a list of theories that could explain what we saw in that video. First, there's the idea that Elisa was having a psychotic break. This theory is supported by the fact that she had a history of bipolar disorder, which can cause hallucinations and delusions. The timeline fits too. She started acting erratically a few days after arriving in Los Angeles, and the video appears to show her experiencing a full-blown psychotic break. Next, there's the possibility that Elisa was under the influence of a hallucinogenic drug like PCP or DMT. Both drugs are known to produce intense visuals and can cause users to see things that aren't really there. If this is true, it would explain the strange looks and gestures she makes in the video, as well as her erratic behavior. Then there's the theory that Elisa was poisoned. This could have been done intentionally or accidentally, but the effects would have been the same, causing her to act strangely and wander off without realizing it. This theory is somewhat unlikely since there's no evidence of foul play or a struggle, but it's still a possibility. Finally, there's the simple explanation that Elisa was sleepwalking. Sleepwalking can cause people to get up and move around while they're asleep, and it can also cause hallucinations. This could explain the video's strangeness, but it doesn't explain why she never returned to her room after leaving the elevator. There's no doubt that the footage captured on that elevator is disturbing, but as unsettling as it is, there's no denying that it's also fascinating. We can't help but wonder what happened to Elisa Lam and why she acted the way she did in that video. What do you think happened? Was it a psychotic break, a bad trip, poison, or something else entirely? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. This was a DarkCase Files production. DarkCase Files is a new series where we cover cases of missing persons and unsolved mysteries. If you want to help us solve one of these puzzles, please send us a message with your ideas. We might feature your input in future episodes. Thank you for watching.